right, thanks for stopping by again. We're gonna continue on this watercolor template watercolor thing. We already, of course, did the templates days ago. You know how those work and how you can make those for yourself. What we're trying to do right now is get the colors right, a little right, you know, finished, get it closer to finished. We may this may be a short one today. We're going to continue to try to darken it up. We're going to want light in the background, dark in the foreground. We're going to continue to try to darken it up a little bit, trying to make it look more realistic. And then we'll definitely, if we go past today, we'll definitely only spend one more day on it, because there's no point in, you can go on and on and on and on until you know, until you get it right. That's not what I just want to show you some techniques and stuff that, you know, you may or may not know that might help you out. So let's see what we're going to do here. Let's turn this over. I need another angle for this camera. What I might do is get another smaller camera and hook it over top of the easel. That would probably be better. Probably, I'm sure it would be. This one, I don't have that ability with it. It doesn't have the ability for me to do that. But that's okay. All right, so let's see. We're gonna get started and put on my glasses, I guess, so I can see a little bit. Might or might not come in handy. All right, here we go. And continue with some of this dark green. This dark green from the old watercolor. Some shadows up in there. It's dark in there. Shadows in there. Okay. Just make it look a little more normal. These contour lines, like you say, you know, the tree is round. Making contour lines helps. It helps with the visuals. Yeah, I didn't tape this up initially. That's what I should have done. I should have taped a border on it and held it down flat. You don't want to paint on something that's moving like this. You want to anchor it down where it doesn't move. we're just trying to get this to look halfway normal. And this one is a challenge, like I was saying. I didn't pick the best layout. I did not. I just did not. No, I did not. Like I said, you know, sometimes you just gotta go for it. If things ain't looking right, just go bold. And especially if it's something, you know, for yourself. And if things ain't turning out right, just go ahead. Just go ahead, go for it. And like I said, if you're working with oil anyway, you can fix it. You can fix it. Right down to painting the board white and starting over again if you want to, but ideally that's not what you want to do. You just want to fix what's not looking right, and then therein you can learn some things that will help you, you know, by doing that. Because if you can fix a picture that you thought was lost, it'll give you some confidence. I had this lady once tell me, don't throw your stuff away, because, you know, I did and I have. I did and I have, you know. And I'll tell you, this is this is one of them that's getting me tempted. but that's not the way you do it. You learn to fix it. You learn to fix it. We need to put more plants back here. Just go for it. Just go for it. Yep, just go for it. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. And those back there are dark anyway because they're farther back in the shadows. Those are going to be black or almost black. Maybe we'll see a little bit of green out of them, but you want to darken that out. You want to darken that out. Yeah, see, I my mistake. I should have taped this. All the way around. I would suggest that you, when you're doing watercolors, that you do that. Tape it all the way around, create a border. Use that Draftsman's tape is the best tape for paper. It's made for paper. It won't rip it when you pull it off. The blue tape that I got here, this will. It's okay for canvas, but you can't use it on this paper like this, and it'll rip it'll peel off the paper when you try to take it off. I use it, for canvas, but for like masking canvas. But you don't want to use it. Use it on paper. You'll ruin your work when you try to get it off. Let's see, we're darkening that up a little bit. And we keep moving. Like I said, I was focusing on that side too much, so let's get over here. Let's get over here and start darkening this up a little bit. This is a tree root, so down in those crevices of a tree root, it's dark. It's so we're gonna thing is to make a contrast. I want to make a contrast, so. Yeah. That's that there. Oops. All right. Come on. Yeah, you don't want to have to be holding your paper while you're trying to paint. Yeah, that's not the thing. But like I said, if anything, if nothing else, you learn what not to do. You learn what not to do watching these videos. But get some shade on there. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Let's get something a little wider so we can get this bottom part a little bit wider. All right, let's do this here. Like I said, we're just going to go for it. Something perhaps I could have done in the beginning. Right. Sure. All right. So, okay, what can we do with that out there? we went a little bit too light out there. So we're gonna darken it up a little bit. So let's try this. Let's try this. I don't want it too dark. Yeah, this might work. This might work. Yeah. This might work. It's a little bit darker, but as long as we put enough water on it, it's not going to be too dark, hopefully. Ooh, that's dark. That's dark. No. 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 That's too dark. Yeah. That's too dark. We're gonna use it anyway. We'll try to water it down. Yeah, we'll try to water it down. All right. We'll try to water it down. And it's all right if those colors get in there. We'll go back and touch those leaves up again when that water dries. But something that I should have done initially, didn't do. I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you see things a little bit late, but you got to fix it. So, and then you're going the hard route, trying to get things done. I'm gonna paint this girl, but we could. She's gonna have all kinds of colors anyway. As you will see. Yeah. See this is, you're gonna see this is gonna kind of work out a little bit because the colors in there, there's several colors in there. There's several colors in the painting. And you don't want to, oops, got water on that. You don't want to block anything. You don't want to block anything out, ideally, if you can keep from it. It's like if you put hard lines around something all the way around it, it will not look like part of your picture. And I've done it a little too much in this foreground, as you can see. It doesn't look quite right because it's almost hard lined, this part right here. And that's not, we're going to try to fix that. We're going to try to fix that, but that's not what you want to do. You don't want a hard line. It separates that part of the painting from the rest, and it makes it look not natural, So you don't want to do, you don't really want to do that. No, you don't want to do that. No, don't go down there and change your hair color. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're about to. You're about to, aren't you? You're about to. get a hair color change. Her name was about to be changed to Karen. Whatever her name was to begin with. Get her some blue hair. She'll be making all kinds of bad decisions. All right. For now, we're going to leave that. We made that a little darker, but as you can see now we're going to have to balance out some other things to make it look. That's what I mean about concentrating on one thing too much. Now you got to balance out the rest, and it's going to cause you some work. It's going to cause you some work. Yeah, it is. Let's get something out there on that beach. There's some shadows out there. Let's get that off your leg. Let's get that spot off your leg if we can. We have to put some water on it. Shadows out there. Yeah. You know, I don't have a lot of time when I'm doing these videos, but whenever you're doing your painting, step back periodically, and not back a few inches. I mean, a few feet. And look at it, and you'll see the errors in it. You'll see what needs to be done. You know, all the gaps and things in there, or things that you need to fix. You'll see it, but you won't see it if you don't step back. If you stay up on it all the time, I mean, like this, I just about have to, because I don't want these videos run over. Try not to let them run over 45 minutes. So I'm staying up here. But get back, step back a few feet, and look at it every once in a while, and you'll see things that need done. You won't see it if you don't do that. If you stay right up on it, you won't see it. It'll help you a great deal if you step back. Yeah, it will. What you don't want to do is finish your painting, and then when you step back and you think you're done with it, you take a look at it and go, you know, what in the hell? I've got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. And you have, you know, hours of work ahead of you, where if you would have just done it while you were painting, you wouldn't wind up with a lot of extra work to do in the end. But yeah, step back. See we're darkening up this entire beach, and we may, in order to do what we wanted to do, which was light in the background and dark in the front, we may have to do that because I made that moon. Well, one reason is because I made that moon darker than I wanted to. It was close to being right the first time, but now I've made it Now I've made it much darker, so I've got to make this much darker in order to do what we were planning to do, which is that contrast. So see, I've caused more work. Caused more work by not paying attention. I got in a hurry and went straight up there and darkened that moon, and I put too much shade into it. Put too much shade into it. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a little bit on what color pencils can help us with here. So what I'm going to do is that I just grabbed a handful, and we're going to do a little bit on this. We're going to do a little bit on this woman here. Let's see. And not heavy. We don't want to go heavy. We just now this is a yellow of sorts. But like I said, we're going to put different colors into it. Okay, so we're just gonna go light on this, but we're gonna cover pretty much everything with yellow. You could use anything, because like you'll see, we're going to put all kinds of colors into it. And the reason I'm doing this with her, she's dry. This a lot of the other parts of this board is not. But when to do this is like after you're pretty much ready and your board is dry, you can go back and fix or add to it with colored pencils, and it'll sure make a difference. And then you can also use charcoal or ink and put in shadows or whatever, and it'll really stand out. It'll stand out, but we're not done. All right, so we're just gonna, let me see what else I got here. Let's see. Here's a little light. It's an orangish looking color. First, you don't want to go heavy on it. You don't want to push down hard on it. You just want to lightly put it on there to see if it's going to work, or see. And do it like you do everything else. Skip around. Don't stay in one place, and don't try to finish it off. You can put things in shadow areas first if you want. That way you can hide it if it's not coming out for you, if it's not doing what you want. You can also use, like I say, even with this, use those contour type, very thin, light contour lines here and there, barely where the eyes can perceive it, and it'll it'll make things look more realistic. We're gonna color her shoes some weird color. Let's give her some bright shoes. let's give her some bright shoes. I don't know what that is. Purple. Hell. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, these. I don't know. Sure don't have to worry about going too hard on these colored pencils because they're not wanting to stick either. They're not wanting to stick either. You see, you can go back and we can even put this in there. We can go over. Let's do this very lightly over the whole thing. Very lightly over the whole thing. Extremely lightly. And you ain't gotta do contours, just back and forth. You can see already that it's starting to make things look different. It's starting to make you pay attention to the form. She's looking more realistic because you're putting colors in there, different colors. And you just keep going. So what we got here, we got some brown. Why not? We'll put some brown in there. And same thing, just go over it. Not, you don't want to press on it hard. The shadow areas maybe. The shadow areas. Especially down here, you can test it out down here by our feet because it's kind of it's a darker area. Anyways, down there by the shaded areas where the plant shade and other shades are down there. You can put it on their shoes down there as a shade. Maybe a little pink or reddish color. So what are we looking at time here? Wow, time is getting by on us on this. All right, so we're gonna use a little reddish looking color, and we're gonna kind of put it on this way to do sort of a cross hatching effect, except extremely light. Extremely light. You'll see that it's starting to create more of a natural looking form, more natural looking. And that cross hatching is great. I mean, skin color, any skin color has lots of color in it. If you're doing an oil painting and you're doing skin, whether it's a white person you're painting black, or Hispanic or whatever, it doesn't matter. You start with orange. You start with the color orange, and mix your colors for skin. But skin color is based on orange, no matter what kind of skin. So okay, let's put some color in. Let's put some color in here, maybe to match with, maybe something to go with the plants. I don't know. All right, let's see. So we're still, and this you can keep going. Here's even a purple. Here's even a purple, which is very light, cross hatching like. Right. You can of course, actually this is a blue, I think, isn't it? Doesn't matter. Little shading, doesn't have to be. See, this is a blue, but hold on, let me drop that on the floor. That'd be good. Yep. We still got some lid. This is actually a blue, but we're going to go around her hairline with it to accentuate her hairline. All right. We want it to stand out against that. We want it to stand out against that background, but not too dark. But and we don't want a hard line all the way around it, because, like I said, it'll separate it from the rest of the. It'll separate it from the rest of the drawing. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to block it off. Let's see. What I really need now is an orange. Do I have it? Yeah. Let's see. We're going to go kind of heavy with this orange. Like I said, skin color is based on it. It is based on it. And if you work on things like a long time, you know, you keep at it and stuff. Of course, you can adjust the color of, you know, your, for instance, her skin, because it could have been out in the sun. I mean, you can make it, you know, dark in places and, you know, sunburn and whatever you want to add on to make it look more realistic. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Let's see if we can use this up here on the leaves that we, yeah, it's still kind of wet. Yeah, it's still too wet. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Well, you get the idea. You get the idea. So what we're going to do, we're going to call it for today. And we'll go back to it tomorrow one more time. And we'll go with watercolor. We'll go with we'll use some watercolor, maybe even a mark. Now, well, I hesitate to use a marker. Maybe some ink and some watercolor, and just finish it to the point, as good a point as we're going to get in the time that we spend on it. And in these, you know, like yesterday was about 40 minutes. The day before was close to the same. So it's, yeah, you know, an hour and a half, a little more than an hour and a half. And we're about 2 hours. We're about 2 hours into it, and could have, you know, that's where you learn things. If I had to do this very same thing again, I would have done it differently and saved us some time. You know, I would have laid down entire backgrounds, even though it's watercolor, and which probably should have done. But the thing is with watercolor is when you lay down a color, you pick it up the next day or whatever, it's still gonna pick that color up and blend it. So it's not as forgiving as nearly as forgiving as oil paint. When we get into oil paint, you'll see. But all right, I thank you again for joining me. Let's see, let me get you a look at that one more time. And I don't know, let me move this around. I don't know if this can, let's see, can you see it a little better? But from where we were to where we are, we've come a bit of a ways. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping in.